Mercenaries 2 is a great game, really fun, that's marred by bugs and glitches, but also helped a little bit by it. The story is your typical revenge story that isn't particularly memorable. You're a mercenary, you get gypped on a job, you lose your payment, your client doesn't pay you. You get mad, you try and go get your money and pay back too. So you basically start an all-out war in Venezuela. So that's pretty much it. It's not that good at all. And obviously you're probably gonna play as Matthias Nielsen because he's cool. And his character can get annoying because it's like a faux Viking Norse accent, and it's not very good. But the multiplayer and the gameplay are pretty standard fare. It focuses a lot more on airstrikes than normal, and a little more than I would like, but it's good enough. The melee bash is what you should default to because it's not that hard to get up to enemies, and melee bash is a one-hit kill, which is far too overpowered. Multiplayer is basically just co-op. You can play through the story. You can goof around, and that's fun. Goofing around is really fun, and that's where the bugs and the glitches make the game really shine, because a bunch of goofy stuff can happen, like you'll fly thousands of feet up in the air after something's exploded for no reason at all, and that's really fun. And the graphics and sound, the presentation is not very good. The graphics are muddy. Well, they're not muddy. It's pretty sunny, but at the end of the game, it gets muddy like the first Mercenaries. In fact, they set out to make a less muddy Mercenaries than the first one, which is I'll review that later. But Mercenaries 2 is in Venezuela, which is a lot sunnier, obviously, but it's not as detailed as the first Mercenaries. And well, it's more detailed, but it's not good detail. It's just all black detail and stuff and shadows, and they're not very good shadows. They look really grungy, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but you'll probably see it if you play it. And then sound, I'm gonna include cheat and include rumble in this. The sound is awful. The guns feel like pea shooters because the controller doesn't rumble when you do it. And they don't feel as powerful as the melee bash or the airstrikes, and I think that was a deliberate choice by the developers to make you feel like you needed to lean on airstrikes, and that's just not fair because airstrikes are dangerous to do because you can, when you lay one down, you have to get out of there or else they'll recognize you and be all like, okay, we need to attack this guy all out now. Or you'll be too close and you'll get blown up. So, unless you have a copter or something to get out of there quick, you're not gonna be very successful with airstrikes. But all in all, it's a good game. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad. You can pick it up for cheap right now. I picked it up for $60, like a fool when it came out, and I wasn't too disappointed when it came out, so in retrospect I should have waited. But it's not a bad game at all. It should, if you're looking for a good open world action game, you'll find your fix here.